Chapter 47, Deadline 42. My mother died when I was 21 and she was 42, but I didn't find out on that day or even that week. My grandmother called a couple of months later, called casually, in the middle of the day, the way she always called, to ask how things were, and without waiting for an answer, report her own. Somewhere between complaints about the weather and market prices, she said, "Your mother died." And then in the same voice, without a pause, without a breath, began recounting the details. How the organs had decomposed, how she drank until the end, how they found her. It was the same voice, uneven, businesslike, impenetrable, not a scream, not a whisper, just a fact delivered like a weather forecast. Rain tomorrow, your mother's dead, potatoes got more expensive. My grandmother didn't know any other way. Her own grief, if she had any, she packaged in the same tone, even, businesslike, impenetrable. 40-year-old me does the same. Casually mentions to friends that she tried to drown herself, tried because unsuccessfully, while writing the first chapter of this book. They don't even notice such details. I stood holding the receiver, listening to her describe the organ decomposition of the daughter she had once cursed. And as she spoke, what rose inside me was not grief. What rose was a memory. My grandmother cursed people. She told me about it in childhood, in the same casual tone, cursed a person, and he died the same day. And then she cursed my mother. "You'll die under a fence," and Uncle Oleg, and me. And now my mother really had died. Oleg was already dead too by that point, beaten to death while drunk, just as my grandmother had predicted. And I, standing with the receiver, thought not about my mother. A thought crept in. She cursed me too. So it will happen to me too, and I will die. The child believed at 8. The adult didn't stop believing. The number 42, the age at which my mother died, settled inside as a deadline. Not a metaphor, not a fear, a deadline. As if life has a specific expiration date, and that date has already been set, and bargaining is pointless. The fear became a prophecy, and the prophecy became a fact that the body believed long before the head could object. I didn't scream when my grandmother hung up. Didn't cry. My hand with the receiver dropped. Inside, silence like after an explosion. Emptiness. The body did what it did best. Shut down. The same mechanism that switched on at 6 months when mother wasn't there. The same one that fired when grandmother hit. The same one that saved me on my knees in the corner. The body doesn't fully shut down. It memorizes what the head refuses to accept. That night I didn't sleep, or the next, or after. Insomnia came not as a symptom, but as a new state. Permanent, ambient, inescapable. As if somewhere inside, the sentry who had stood guard all his life received an order that night. No more sleeping, no more relaxing. Mother is dead, nay, the danger has become final. The curse works, you cannot close your eyes. The number 42 stopped being superstition. Mother died, and the curse became fact. The clock is ticking. Then the bleeding started. Heavy, frightening, the kind I nearly died from. Before that, they had never happened. Never. There were bladder problems, there was anxiety, there was a tense body that hadn't relaxed since birth. But bleeding that doesn't stop after 2 weeks had never happened. Usually it was always 8 days, and now it wouldn't stop. It came after my mother's death, as if the body had decided, since the curse is real, let's start dying right now. My grandmother called in March. By June it hit me so hard I couldn't eat, couldn't get up, couldn't do anything. I just lay there, and the depression was not sadness, but a disconnection from life, as if someone pulled the battery out of me and forgot to put it back. For the first time in my life, I was put on antidepressants. I was 21, swallowing pills without understanding what exactly they were treating. I didn't connect anything with anything. The insomnia with the phone call, the bleeding with her death, the depression with the fact that mother would never come. I treated symptoms without asking why. The body knew, the head didn't, and this gap lasted 20 years. Only at 40, when I began dismantling myself piece by piece, not through books, but through the body, through what surfaced on its own, did I suddenly see the obvious. As if someone turned on the light in a room where I'd been groping in the dark for 20 years. All the health problems began after my mother's death. The body was still mourning her, in the only language it had. Pain, but since I had suppressed feelings, shut off the heart back in childhood, only the body hurt. The head didn't get the message. And for 20 years I thought I was simply ill, that I had weak health, that these things happen, because connecting your pain with a loss means admitting the loss existed, and admitting the loss means admitting there was something to lose, that my mother, despite everything she did and didn't do, still existed inside me as hope, a small, foolish, childish hope that someday she'd come back, become different, look at me and say, "I'm sorry, I'm here." Mother didn't come back, and with that phrase inside me died not only hope. The part of the child that was still waiting died. Quietly, without drama, simply stopped waiting, and in its place remained a formula that then ran my entire life. All my efforts are for nothing. Nothing will change. No one will come. Everything will always be bad. And if it suddenly gets good, wait, because happiness always has a price. Someone will suffer. Someone will die. It's always been that way.